Oh boy, I know I have not uploaded in about like since Sunday. No, Monday. I uploaded that Tessa Blanchard reaction video, but but I need to get started again on these uploading stuff. But I need to take time away because I was tired. I was without sleep for some time. I needed time to rest my body these past several days. So I'm back, and now I'm gonna make these videos. I'm gonna make these videos that I've been needing to upload for quite some time. The Wednesday Night War debate, or Wednesday Night War review, the Impact Wrestling review video of, or reaction video to, or my reaction to Impact Hard to Kill, Raw, and then got SmackDown. Just 4 videos, that I'm uploading today. I still need to finish Impact Hard to Kill, but I am going to start with the Wednesday Night War debate, or Wednesday Night War review, debate, whatever you want to call it. I preferred NXT again this week over AEW Dynamite. I don't care what the ratings are going to say. I don't care if Dynamite won in the ratings. NXT, quality-wise, was without a doubt better than what AEW was doing again this week. Uh, the matches, the matches were absolutely great compared to what they were doing in AEW. The tag team matches were the standout, of course. The tag team matches were the standout. The Dusty Classic, the Bruiser Bros, that I would like to say, that I like to call them, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, and taking on, man, who was it? Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. Oh my God, that was one of the best tag team matches that probably one of the best tag team matches on free NXT TV to start off the year, and it's gonna get better each and every week. Obviously, you had the Fatal 4-Way Tag match on AEW Dynamite. That was a great tag team match. I did think that it was fun to watch, and it's starting to build up to Adam Page's heel turn, which is starting to become really interesting to see. Overall, I did like just the tag team matches that NXT was producing because they were kick ass and they were for like a bigger stake at risk. There's something that's risk even more. Of course, it was the Dusty Classic, so of course I'm gonna be, of course, RIP the Dusty Rose, and the Dusty Classic has gone on to like a shocking, surprising start. I guess I might as well just break down everything that just went on. I mean, the first thing that happened was a Keith Lee promo, then an Undisputed Era attacked, and then shattered Keith Lee's ankle. That was something. Like, Keith Lee has a lot of momentum with him, and he was the star of this week's NXT. Indeed, he was the big time guy. He's been a breakout star of NXT since the end of 2019, and Keith Lee doing this shattered ankle thing, and it looked like, you know, he was selling it. He did sell it pretty well. The end of the show, though, I mean, we'll get to that later when it happened, but, you know, this was a good way to kick off NXT. I thought with that, you build up Undisputed as a desperately trying to hold on to everything because they know Keith Lee is a threat. And then you got Tommaso Ciampa, who's going after Adam Cole. And then, yeah, I did not say no. And then you got Tommaso Ciampa going after Adam Cole. Obviously, you got that promo coming up in the later goings. And then, of course, like I said, AEW kicked off with a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Wait. Let me rewind all the way back, just to send my condolences out to the Maivia, well, not the Maivia, but the Anoa'i family, or anyone in the Johnson, Anoa'i, and Maivia family. Of course, Rocky Johnson, Soul Man Rocky Johnson, passed away Wednesday, so that was really surprising to hear. Dwayne, of course, The Rock, obviously was the son of Rocky Johnson, so of course, with the success that Rock's been building up for years, this of course is going to be something that is going to take a toll on him. Believe me, losing a father is not easy, and I know Rock is going through pain, but I send my condolences out to him. I really don't know how he's reacting or holding on to this, but he's probably going through some sort of pain, but he is, staying strong. That's what he's doing, because that's what The Rock is. And of course, there was this tribute, there's a 10-bell salute from NXT, and there was a small tribute thing for AEW. I thought they should have done a 10-bell salute or something for them as well. But just tough day in wrestling. 75 years old. That's a good age to live. But AEW did kick off with the Fatal 4-Way Tag. I thought it was a great match, like I said. Of course, Paige and Kenny won with Paige tagging himself in out of nowhere. Trying to build up that heel turn, trying to build it up as much as he can. So it's starting to get a little bit interesting. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's just making me a little bit, surprising to see how things are going to go. The one thing that kind of just gets me annoyed with AEW tag matches is the diving. The diving just is ridiculous. If you hear somebody walking down the steps, that is my mother in my house, or in the house. So I have to really be careful making these videos because she doesn't know I make these. Oh boy. Nevertheless, that was a great tag team match. I mean, the dives and stuff and the plan is too choreographed. If you get what I mean, it's too choreographed in AEW matches. That's what makes it hard to really watch it. And then, and the AEW broke down what was going to happen in the night. And then Cody Rhodes came out to cut a promo saying he's going to accept the challenge to MJF and accept the stipulations, especially steel cage, 10 lashes, and not touching MJF until Revolution. So that was a bit of an interesting thing to see. NXT, on the other hand, you saw Tegan Nox was going to return tonight in the Battle Royal. And then also the Dusty Rhodes Classic match between the Bruiser Bros, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. Fantastic match. That was awesome. That's probably the best Dusty Classic tag match I've ever seen. There was just so much action. It didn't slow down. It just was so crazy, so quick. Just unbelievable moves. And Flash Morgan Webster, if you have not seen those two guys in NXT UK, God, they're good. They're good. They're really good. And if you kept up with them for quite a long time, I mean, I know Mark Andrews since his time in Impact Wrestling when he was competing in the X Division. Of course, there's been talent with him. And then, just seeing those two able to handle some of the two best that NXT has to offer, that was insane. It was insane. There was just incredible amount of moves. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I was impressed the entire time. Then Tommaso Ciampa came out to cut his promo about going after Goldie, saying he challenged Adam Cole to the NXT Championship match at TakeOver Portland, which is an interesting place, but I love to go to Portland. The Rose City really is where it's all at. And Portland hasn't hosted a big event like this in a long time, so this is pretty awesome. It'll be pretty awesome to see the fan reaction from that. And saying that Undisputed Era has a hit list, and Tommaso does have his own hit list, and Adam is on it. And then Undisputed attacks again, and then Johnny Gargano came out for the save, and DIY is back. Oh yeah, DIY's back, and I'm in love with it. And afterwards, after a break, it just gets better because Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven challenged DIY to a tag match at Worlds Collide. Oh god, this is gonna be sick. Oh, it's gonna be sick. I'm gonna. Oh, I'm gonna get a free trial. Joey Janela, back to AEW. Joey Janela cut a promo saying, 2019 was a kick to the balls for him, and then Penelope Ford was holding on to the success, was just doing nothing for him. So he didn't want to focus on Penelope Ford, his ex, because she's with Kip Sabian. But, he faces Rey Fenix next week and says to improve that he's the backbone of AEW. When, I don't think of Joey Janela as much. I don't even think of Joey Janela as much. Nightmare Collective versus Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander. Let me just say this. I hate the Nightmare Collective. It sucks. But the tag team match was decent, I guess. I really didn't. It was fine. It didn't do too much. It was a couple of botches in there, and they were noticeable botches. I saw on Twitter that WWE, they have their botches, but you know, somebody said they hide it pretty well with the camera work. AEW does not do a good job of hiding their botches. It's ridiculous to see that, and the women's division in AEW is just so convoluted. It's so weird. I'm certainly not behind it. It's just a mess. It's a mess that needs to be fixed. Chris and Hikaru won. So, yeah, Brandy looked okay in the ring. Brandy looked fine in the ring. Mel, she's pretty good. She's like a talent. She's like the giant. Just yeah. But I don't really know. I just don't really know. I do know. I just know the Nightmare Collective sucks. That's what I know. I forgot to mention that Keith Lee was being evaluated by the way. But Dusty Rose Classic, back to NXT. Dusty Rose Classic, Time Splitters, Kushida, and Alex effin Shelley versus Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake, and Zach Gibson. This was a great match that shocked me. This was a great match that shocked me with the finish because I did not expect Time Splitters to lose to GYV, to Grizzled Young Veterans, and they did. They did. Alex Shelley lost. Alex Shelley got the pin. Alex Shelley got pinned. Ticket to Mayhem finished. It was a great match, of course. I've been a fan of Alex Shelley since he was in TNA, and him and Chris Sabin, Motor City Machine Guns, is, for me personally, my favorite tag team in the world of wrestling. My favorite tag team of all time. If you don't know Motor City Machine Guns, or if you forgot about Motor City Machine Guns, go search matches with Beer Money, Generation Me, Team 3D. You need to watch those specific matches because those matches are the standout of what they were made of. And singles wise, both are really good. Chris Sabin's a former world champion, obviously. Alex Shelley had his success, and he's been in Ring of Honor for quite some time. But back to the match. It was an upset win, but it was a great match. It was a really, really great match. But I was just surprised to see Alex Shelley lose. He's probably not signed with WWE full time, or he is, but they didn't really have too much to do, or they really had more to do instead. And Alex Shelley has more to do, in the indie scene. It's a bit interesting, but it was a great match. Grizzly Young Veterans did cover the promo. They said Time Splitters just as a thing in the past, and that they'll win the Dusty Classic. Robert Stone and Chelsea Green, they cut their promo saying Robert Stone brand is in the building. He said something about the Battle Royal, which I forgot. That was pretty fun, I guess, but it was a little bit interesting to see where they go. Triple Threat number 1 contenders match was up next, and that was for the Cruiserweight Championship. I'll get to that later, because now we're going back to AEW, and now we're going to break down another thing that happened. Sammy Guevara, well, before that, Dark Order. It's like literally how I feel about Dark Order. Sammy Guevara versus Jon Moxley. Fine match. I didn't think it was too much. I wasn't impressed, but it was good work nonetheless. Jon Moxley did win. Of course he did, because he's going to be the next challenger. And then the Inner Circle attacked, and then they put a spike in Johnny's eye. Not Johnny. John's eye. Ouch. Ouch. And ouch more. And This was for a build up to a number one contender. This was a match to determine who will go on to Rock and Rage SC to face or a match at Rock and Rage SC to face Chris Jericho for the AEW World Championship at Revolution, most likely. And the next match would be Pac versus Darby Allin to see who will go on to that one-on-one match. And this was the Bash at the Beach special, I should say. Chris Jericho did come to the promo and then said what happened to John was his fault, and then just after hitting him in the head with champagne, he was dead, a madman, calling John a madman, and then next week he'll do the same Jurassic Express, beating the living hell out of them. That was fine, I guess. Butcher and the Blade in MJF 6-man tag against DDP, QT Marshall, and Dustin Rhodes. This was good. I mean, MJF is still showing that he's a great heel. I mean, the guy wore banged DDP's daughter shirt. I mean, that's just, if that ain't heel, I don't know what it is. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is something of just God himself. When it comes to AEW, when it comes to the best heels, it's Jericho and MJF. Nobody else. There's not even a close third. It's a far, far third. And I don't even know who the third is because there's no really definitive heel. There's no really definitive face. It's those two. It's really those two. The match was fine. I mean, Dustin pulling out a Canadian Destroyer. DDP looked great in the ring. For his age, I mean, probably near, 70 is DDP? Or 50, probably? The guy's old. But he works really well in the DDP yoga that he provides for himself and for everyone else. Obviously, it works. SCU SCU had an interview with Adam, interrupted, and Kenny Omega came out the backstage and then said, well, show respect instead. But Adam is getting really close to that heel turn. He's going to probably do something in that tag team match, which is going to lead to something, or probably, them winning or them losing. And then finally the main event, Pac versus Darby Allin, 1-on-1 to determine who will face Jon Moxley next week. This was a good match. Very, very, very good. I mean, not very good, but this was a good match. I didn't think that AEW really did too much with their show today, or show on Wednesday, but this was a fine match. I mean, there was good action all around. Darby Allin just continues to impress. I think he's got more. I think he just still has a little bit more time to go before he can be the top guy. But Pac did win with Black Arrow. Simple finish, nothing much. But John did come out and said that he was going to be there on the Rocket Ranger scene, and then he was going to beat Pac's ass, and then he was going to become number one contender and get payback on Chris Jericho. I mean, just that's what it was again. But that was a fun match. I thought it was a good way to end AEW, and then finally you're gonna get to these last few matches here in NXT with the triple threat number one contenders match. Finn Balor cut his promo out Ilya Dragunov, saying he believed saying Dragunov can do things that Finn can do, or believes that he can do things that Finn can do, but when he steps up to the Prince, he better not miss. The Prince version, this version of Finn Balor is awesome. I love it. Please keep him heel for a very long time. If you can build a stable with him in NXT, please do, because you can keep this kind of Finn. Finn is going to be a ruler of NXT, indeed. And if you can bring him up to the main roster just like this again, or bring him up again to the main roster like this, oh my god, Finn Balor's going to be someone to not mess with. He's going to be the Universal or WWE Champion like this character. If he stays a heel and does what he does like this, nothing's changing. But the triple threat match, Swerve, Leo, and Tyler Breeze. Wow, this was a damn good match. This was a damn good match from start to finish. I mean, one of the spots that got me was Swerve and Leo. Leo was about to do a dive, and then Swerve did a backflip. And then they just stood and stared at each other. Just why are they so good? Why is the cruiserweight division so good? And I don't see more of it often. Angel Garza on commentary, doing his thing. I mean, of course, English is not his native language, so of course it was like a little bit difficult for if you were a viewer, if you were listening to Angel Garza on commentary, it was a little bit difficult for anyone to understand him. But that's fine because of course he's working on it. Of course he's gonna get better at speaking English sooner or later. But wow, this was a great match, and Swerve winning, I thought was the perfect decision because that guy's been on a roll for quite some time that I've been watching him. Swerve looks great. Swerve is great. I think he's got the potential to be a key player in the cruiserweight division. And matter of fact, if he can just get a couple more big time wins in NXT, he could be a potential, NXT North American champion in some time. I don't think you should bring him out to the main roster about for another 4 to 5 years. Let him build that character and just let him build that character. Just let him continue the role. Rhea Ripley said that he will take down Tony's. I am so sorry, Rhea, that I just called you a guy. Oh God. Oops. Rhea said that she will take down Tony at Worlds Collide, and whoever wins the Battle Royal will take them down because NXT Women's Division is her nightmare. Is a nightmare now. It's become a nightmare. Johnny and DIY segment. DIY's back. And then Undisputed Era tries to start a brawl. And Keith Lee pounced the security guard through the bush. Keith Lee, you gotta keep doing what you're doing. And then the Women's Battle Royal was just all out chaos. It was crazy. It was. But the one thing that got me was Shayna Baszler. I personally, I'm a fan of Shayna Baszler. I just wasn't a fan of her women's title reign. I thought, just the same thing over and over again. Someone has to beat her. But seeing her compete in the Battle Royal was good. It was good to see because, hey, she's going to have to get that opportunity soon. Mercedes Martinez was a standout star in the match. Tegan Nox looked great in the match. Of course, she was eliminated by Dakota Kai, which was... And then the shocking elimination of Shayna by Chauncey Blackheart. Hope I got her name right. Probably did. But yeah, that girl, a new face, eliminated Shayna Baszler. Of course, they're going to set up something. And the final two was Bianca and Io Shirai. Great standoff between those two. And then Bianca won out of surprise. I didn't think Bianca was going to win. I thought Io Shirai was going to win. Of course, people call her Io Shirai, but I call her Io Shirai because, that's how I do it. But it was a star-making battle royal, of course. Mercedes Martinez was a standout. Chauncey Blackheart is going to be something great. Tegan Nox, of course, just keeps building her momentum. I swear to God, I did not call anybody he. I did not call any woman he. Please, not again. I don't want any of those to come down or come to my city and kick the hell out of me. But Bianca Belair winning was pretty shocking, but, I think it's a good decision. I think it's a really good decision because, she has a lot of greats in the ring. I think she's going to be, I think she's a really good first challenger for Rhea Ripley. And that should be a great match at TakeOver Portland. Other than that, my overall review on NXT is 9 out of 10. Of course, I don't give any points out or do anything out of 5. I do it out of 10. It was 9 out of 10 for NXT. My overall rating for AEW was 7 out of 10. I just thought NXT just keeps pulling out banger after banger of a show. I don't care if people don't watch it too much or a lot of people watch it or not. I watch it live and I just say, yup. I freaking just... Because I'm a WWE guy and, of course, I'm going to be... It's going to sound like a little biased, but I try not to. I try not to be biased too hard because I do like AEW, and AEW matches sometimes are good, but NXT just continues to just pull out the bangers each and every week with match after match after match, just stealing show. Every match just does well. And while AEW does have the 1 or 2 match that is good, NXT, every match is good. Even some matches that you don't really think are going to be okay. It's just like Hey, that was really good. My match of the night, indeed, for both shows, AEW was of course the Fatal 4-Way Tag. NXT is just hard to choose. If I had to choose, it would be the Triple Threat Cruiserweight Number One Contenders match. And of course, that's match gonna have in Worlds Collide. But that was NXT was just impressive all around. And then AEW still needs to work out some things. I think they're gonna get something going. They're gonna get something going where they can put out consistently good matches, and I'm gonna get a little bit more interested in AEW Dynamite more. But NXT won for me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Just let me know in the comments. Just who was better? Who you think is better, quality wise? Quantity wise, of course AEW is doing good in the ratings, but quality wise, it's NXT with their matches. Their match quality for me is better than AEW. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Which is better right now? Who's been better since the start of it? And I'll get to every comment as much as I can. I still got 3 more videos to upload, which is SmackDown, Raw, and my reaction to Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill. I think in the next week is the NWA show, NWA pay-per-view. I forgot what the name was. Oh my god, damn it. Other than that, I mean, just great Wednesday night of wrestling that was 2 days ago. Today's Friday. Gotta get some more videos going up. So I'm gonna just continue to keep pulling them out. I'll keep pulling these videos out of my ass. And I'll see you guys soon.